Hello students, today we are going to study the poem Animals from English Kumar Bharti, Standard 10th. The poem Animals has been written by Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman is an American poet. He was also a journalist of his time. He was born in the year 1819 and he left this world in the year 1892. But he was a very famous poet, and also he is called as the father of free verse. That means during his time when he started writing poems, there were many poets who were writing poems in a meter, or they were having a specific rhyme scheme. They used to follow the Shakespeare pattern. But then Watman has broken this tradition and he started writing poems in free verse. This poem Animals is also written in free verse. That means there is no specific meter of the line, and also there is no specific rhyme scheme in the poem. In some of the poems you will not find the rhyme scheme at all. Such poems are called as free verse. Okay, so let's start with the poem. Now, I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self content. So, here the poet is saying that I think that I should turn. That means I should live with animals and I should stay away from the human beings. The reason behind that is the animals, they are placid. Placid means they are not easily upset, and they are self content. Self content means they are self sufficient. They have their own food, they have their whatever things they require, they have with them. But then we human beings, we are not placid and self content. That means we get upset on silly things, on small matters we get upset and we start quarreling. Even we are not self content, we are dependent on others for our needs. Okay, so we are not self sufficient. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. So here he is saying that I stand and look at them long and long. That means for hours I observe the animals, their behavior I observe, and I feel that they do not sweat and whine. Sweat and whine means they are not afraid of their conditions, and they are not every time crying about their losses. Like we human beings, even for small things we start quarreling, we start fighting, we start crying for small things. We want everything in our life, we are never satisfied. But then this is not the case with the animals. Whatever they have, they are satisfied with it. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. So animals, they are, as I told you, that they are self satisfied. They don't have any quarrels, they are not greedy at all. But then we human beings, we are very greedy, and to fulfill our demands, to fulfill our wishes, we can go to any extent. Even we don't fear of making sins. So whenever any sin or bad thing we do, we are afraid of it. Then at night we are not able to get proper sleep, and we are awake and we cry. We means we cry for the bad things or the bad activities that we have done, because there is a guilt in our heart. That is why we cry for those things. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. So here again he is saying that they do not make me sick. Make me sick means disgust me or annoy me. Okay, so that means every time we are talking about our duties towards God, but then in reality we are not doing anything. Okay, we are just talking about good things, but we do not follow those good things in our life. We expect the others to follow it, but we ourselves are not doing those good deeds. No one is dissatisfied, no one is demented with the mania of owning things. Okay, so here is saying that no one means the animals, they are not dissatisfied. As we humans, we are always dissatisfied, we are never satisfied. If we have achieved one thing, now there is a greed to achieve the next thing. And animals, they are not demented. Demented means they are not mad with the mania. Mania means crazy. of owning things. That means we human beings, we every time we have the desire to have more. If we have a small car, now we want a big car. If our house is small, we want a big one. Okay, if we have properties, then if one property we are having, we want more. Okay, so we are mad about owning things, but then this craziness of owning things you cannot find in animals. Wherever they are happy, they are satisfied, they are contented. But then we human beings are never happy and satisfied. No one kneels to another, nor to his kind that live thousands of years ago. So here he is saying that no one kneels to another. That means they are living on their own. They are dependent on themselves. So they don't have to bend in front of others. But then we human beings, we are always dependent on others. Not one is respectable or unhappy uh, over the whole earth. So here he is saying that not one is respectable here means too happy and satisfied. That means not these animals, they are not very happy also, and they are not unhappy also. That means they are satisfied with whatever they have. But then we human beings, no matter how much money we have, but then still we are never satisfied. So they show their relations to me, and I accept them. So here he is saying that the type of life these animals are living, I feel that even the poet wants to live that type of life. He wants to be satisfied with his life. There is no greed in him. He don't want any property. He is happy with whatever he have, and so he feels that I find that I am somewhere related to these animals. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them plainly in their possessions. So here he is saying that they bring me tokens of myself. Tokens means, here a token means he is talking about simplicity and innocence. Okay, so it is said that we human beings, even we were apes, and then in the early ages even we were animals, and then from animals only we have developed into humans. So here he wants to say that when we were in that stage years back, centuries back, even we humans were having these tokens of simplicity and innocence. But as we are progressing, as we are making more progress, we are leaving behind our innocence and simplicity. But then these animals, they still have that innocence and simplicity. They have retained it. Okay, and so he says, the poet says that I am still having that simplicity and innocent in myself, which the other human beings are not having, and that is why I feel more related to animals instead of human beings. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge time ago and negligently drop them? Okay, so here as I told you that we human beings, we have developed from the animals. That means from apes. बोला जाता है कि हम पहले बंदरों की जाति में थे, उसके बाद हम धीरे धीरे हमारा प्रोग्रेस हुआ है. तो जब हम उस समय में हम ह्यूमन बींग्स भी, हम में भी यही सिंप्लिसिटी और इनोसेंट था. बट एज वी आर प्रोग्रेसिंग, वी हैव लेफ्ट बिहाइंड दैट सिंप्लिसिटी एंड innocence. And so here the poet Walt Whitman, he feels more connected to animals instead of human beings. Please go through the poem and the explanation again and again so that you can understand it well, children. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.